Memory is the chain that connects our past to our present. If it breaks, we're left untethered, incapable of leaving the present moment and unable to embrace the future.
Remember when there were no MP3s but CDs? Didn't care about germs, no concern of disease. Street lights came on, we high-fived and we leave. Back in the days it wasn't so hard to believe that I would wake up as the Black Power Ranger. Never scared of danger, snapping my fingers to the beat of my drum. Became addicted to fun, we would fight with our hands. Never needed a gun, we would gladly chill in the house, play mom and daddy. The greatest feeling was when nobody could ever tag me. So happy, not being the last to be chosen, to run to the candy lady to buy us a Frozen. We were just kids up to no good. Remember the first time you watched Boys in the Hood? Rat tail in the back while my barber fades me. Do you remember when? Yes, no,
remember
baby.
When you would hear a song you like and you felt like it was about your life. Remember when you would write a letter to your girlfriend and she would read it to all of her girlfriends. Remember staying up all night, talking on the phone. Remember skipping class with your homeboys.
Yeah.
Remember G.I.
Hey yo, I wrote this shit up all day. A long stay in the hallway. Harking back to an era of the tape play. Hitting on the track well, on a max cell. With the spitting the beginning of a rap tale. Elastic scoop the Luke shine vividly. In due time produce rhyme synergy. And for the longest caught the blinking of the torment. Till inkling of performance still thinking of his dormant. And so it be, who hold close and kept dear were left there, won't know folks by next year. For ties cut, invest shares, perplex peers. Rise up, inflect fear, for hex sneers. The rest cheer, know we did it for a purpose. Poem of a kid who never did scratch surface. Until they own it, respect the craft from proponents. Cause it ain't over till the song.
Remember what? You would hear a song you like and you felt like it was about your life. Remember when you would write a letter to your girlfriend and she would read it to all of her girlfriends. Remember staying up all night, talking on the phone. Remember skipping class with your homeboys. Remember G.I. Joe?
I used to play Mortal Kombat with Matthew. I swore he used to cheat. I swear I could never beat him. Those sour jawbreakers, I swear I could never eat him. Baddest chick in the school, I swear I could never meet her. Until I wrote her a letter telling her I'm a singer. Me and Terrence would draw pictures of sneakers. Me and Ashley used to be in the class singing. I wrote my first rap in the back of the class thinking, I'm feeling it, yeah. Feel alive, did you get feeling alive? If you feel it, raise your L in the sky. I remember selling my mixtape in high school. They was really kinda supportive at my school. I was selling cassette tapes for $5. I was making my own beats, I was beatboxing.
Brown, brown, sugar, that brown, brown, hey. 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 Brown, brown, sugar, that brown, brown, hey.
Fanfare starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Are the elite ones, you the people,
everybody?
And that's the message he's always
Looks
brought
like we,
home to us, Vanessa.
The plane has arrived. The plane has arrived. I'm showing it to you in the background. Once he starts talking, I'll bring him on. I have to be careful with the background music to make sure that nothing really gets played that's not supposed to be played. You know, the copyright issues, and he plays a lot of music before he goes on stage. But the place looks packed. People look like it's great weather, and they just opened the door to the plane, as you can see yourself. The man's about to make an entrance into Freeland, Michigan. What an appropriate name. Freeland, Michigan. What's up, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in. Whoa, somebody's all the way from New Zealand. I'm going to take some comments in a little bit. Just wanted to show you guys the Donald getting off the airplane. So we're going to have some fun tonight. Finally, we're going to do a Trump rally. This is so much different than my football broadcast I used to do. When I would do football, I would have to basically call the game like it was on a radio because you couldn't show any footage. At least here I can show some footage. And then once he talks, I'll go ahead and click on the volume so you guys can hear it as well. So a couple of things I want to lay some groundwork, because this is a little bit different than you may get on some other channels. A lot of other channels sit back and they hope that you bring in donations or give them tips, which are fine. I'm not saying that's not that good, but I'm going to give to you. So periodically, just like I did with football, periodically, I'm going to do a trivia question. And I'm going to do a trivia question, obviously, about Donald Trump. You know, I may say something like, all right, give me the first tie that Donald Trump ever wore, that's not the question. And I'm going to say the first person that can give me the answer in the chat, you're going to win. And what we're going to be giving out is, just like I gave out with football, a $25 gift certificate to any Buffalo Wild Wings anywhere near you. So when I say we're going to do the first giveaway, be ready. I know some of you guys are going to have to probably Google. Some of you will probably know it right off the bat. But as soon as you hear me say, all right, it's trivia time, I'm going to announce what the question is, and the first person with the answer is going to win a $25 gift certificate from Buffalo Wild Wings. And I'm going to probably do 4 of those today. Let's see if we can't give out 4 gift certificates to Buffalo Wild Wings. And then what I'll need from you to basically look on below in the description and send me an email with your information once you win it. But you'll see when it happens. It's going to be some fun. You know, it's just my way of giving back and saying thank you for watching my channel. Thank you very much for tuning into the videos. It really makes me feel good. And so when I do these live videos, I like to engage with people and make it fun, engaging for you guys as well. So, still waiting for the man to come off the airplane. He hasn't come off yet. We're still looking. So maybe we can go ahead and take a few comments here. Tim Starr said, let me make sure it's working. Did I pick the right thing? And I did. Okay, so Barry needs his own morning show. Working on that, by the way. We're working on that. We'll see what we can have what comes of it. I did a radio show today with a guy who's in a number of different markets across the country. It's going to air on Saturday. From Indianapolis, thank you very, very much. Jim J. Trias says, this is a new experience. Usually I'm listening to Barry with his dramatic background music playing. Well, you can hear me talking. Right now there's certain music I can't play obviously on live. Catherine says she's here from Blacks for Trump. Good to hear it. Shofar Sounding says, love your channel, Barry. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for watching. Do you think you'll ever stop doing politics now that you've done it a while? Nope, I like it. I mean, I did the Dolphins stuff. It was fun talking about NFL games, but I feel very passionate about what's going on in this country. I mean, really passionate about it. Unless they flip the switch and don't allow me to, I'm just going to keep going. I mean, obviously, we got a long ways to go until November, and then once November comes, hopefully he wins, and we'll have a lot more to talk about there as well. Almost like that X-Files music in the background. X-Files. No, I don't have X-Files, but give me some idea. See, the thing is, you can give me ideas on genre, but you can't give me tunes because they won't allow us to just put out anything. So it looks like part of the entourage is deplaning. Haven't seen him come out. Remember, this is his second rally of the day. He was in Wisconsin, did a rally there, got on a plane, and flew to Michigan now. And the place is jumping. Look at all those doggone people. They're all over the place. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Joe doesn't get this. There's no way, Joe. I understand Kamala was actually out on the road today, and she was down here in South Florida, or actually she was in Jacksonville, and all she could talk about was the A word, and I can't say it on YouTube, but you know what I mean, where if you don't want to keep, the child type thing. But she was there, and that's all they talked about. She didn't mention a word, not one single word about what's going on these college campuses. They are terrified of it. And I think that's another opportunity for Donald Trump to jump in and make some headway. And then today, you'll see in a video I'm going to drop later, Peter Ducey was talking about, asked her a question, Karine Jean-Pierre, and she completely dodged. She's like, where's Joe? Where is Joe? And why is he not out there talking to people about what's going on? He didn't do it. Michigan here. Oh, you're from Michigan. Great. Hopefully it works out for you. The whole world depends upon President Trump coming back in 2024. I believe that. Belinda says Kamala who? Exactly. What a waste she is. We love you from New Mexico. Wow, that's a distance. I saw the other guy was from New Zealand, was like the farthest one I thought I saw. Is this live now? This is 100% live right now. Let me test out one of my buttons here. Let me see, will it come up? Boom! There's my little live button to tell you, yeah, we are live. Boom, boom. No tape here, no delay. This is 100% live. And so when it's live, things can go kind of haywire. I may lose sound. Something may happen with the stream. So understand this is not a recording. We are live. We are live. That is live. That is him coming off the plane sooner than later. Roger says, thank you for what you do, Barry. You do a great job. I try. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you very, very much. There's a long distance one. This is Uganda, East Africa. Thank you very much. Man, that's some long distance dialing. I can't even imagine what time it must be over there right about now. Thank you very much. Freedom Reigns is from Colorado. That's good. Greetings from Bronx, New York. You must be going through all kinds of nuttery up there right now. I mean, I can't believe what's going on this. After last night, I watched on Hannity's show, and I watched how the New York police made entry to the Columbia Hamilton Hall, how they used that pretty cool toy that got him into the second story window and everything, and it was fantastic. And they dragged all the nutbags out, and then they came all right back again today. Columbia, that president should absolutely resign. She has no idea what she's doing. These people are just taking advantage of her any way they can. She wasted all that manpower from the New York Police Department. I mean, there must have been hundreds of officers, tons of overtime, cleared out the building, and then they all came right back today. Unbelievable. Alvin Bragg is chasing around Donald Trump. Hey, how about taking care of some of these nutbags? Make these kids safe on campus. But no, instead, you're chasing Donald Trump because of Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen. Please, you're an idiot. Absolute idiot. South Florida for Trump. That's right. Yep, I'm down here with you. Barry, you are famous nationally. No, I'm not famous. Oh, there is a charge for watching today. There's one charge. And so that one charge is this.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
That's your fee tonight. Just click that button for me. Just do it over again. Let me just remind you.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
That's the fee. That's your only fee for attending tonight. Everything else is free, just to listen to me talk. Corn Pop, where was that? I got to show that. Corn Pop lives in Biden's head. Somebody has to live up there, I guess. He's not living up there. It's just nuts. Nothing going on. Greetings from New Hampshire. That's almost my neck of the woods. I grew up in Connecticut, so greetings to you. Greetings from St. Kitts. Is that over in the Virgin Islands, I believe? Yeah, that gotta like that. Cindy says she's new to the channel and love what he brings to the table. Thank you very much for giving it a try. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. I wrote the bill in a whisper. I wrote the bill. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So. I was going to wait until he got off the plane, because I know from the time he gets off of the plane and then he walks through the crowd and he greets the people in Michigan, we're going to have some time. I guess we can wait and just keep taking some comments. First of all, have any of you gone to a Trump rally? I mean, I've gone to a couple down here in South Florida. We saw him once in Boca, and my wife and I saw him in Boca. Huge crowd. Saw him in Miami. Huge crowd. Miami was stifling hot, and it was just packed. and then a thunderstorm opened up. Not a thunderstorm, just a rain, and it felt so good. But I was so pumped for that rally. It was amazing. Virginia Beach in the house with Lillian. How you doing, Lillian? Hi there, says, I love watching your shows. I love having you watch the shows. Thank you very much. Whoa, super chat. Curtis, $5. Brother, thank you. Thank you very much. That goes a long way. and you'll see what's going to go on here in a little bit. Hello from Tucson here. And understand, if I don't get to your comment, they go so fast. I have a chance to look away. I look over here. I have my dashboard. Then I check a comment, and I go ahead and hit what I can. So don't be offended if I just don't hit yours. Where in Connecticut did I grow up? So hopefully you're not with the black helicopters guys that are going to swoop in or anything. But I grew up in a town called West Hartford, Connecticut. It's basically middle of the state. It's, if you know the state of Connecticut and where it sits in New York, I grew up in the middle of Yankees and Red Sox area. It was 2 hours to New York, 2 hours to Boston. Half my family were the Yankees or Mets. I was a Red Sox fan. So West Hartford sits in the smack dab middle of the state of Connecticut. Let me adjust my chair here. What the heck is that? Hold on. Let me go ahead and put that banner up again so I can adjust my chair without... boy, I hate doing this, but my thing, I hit the button. Once I hit that button, I have to go ahead and pull it back up. Otherwise, there we go. Okay, now we're back in.
He's going to win again.
Okay, so I could turn that down. We're still waiting for him. Yay, Red Sox. Yes, I'm a Bo Sox fan all the way since I could basically watch TV. 1967, Carl Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown. When I turned 7, my dad bought me a glove with Carl Yastrzemski's record in it, 44 home runs. I believe it was 121 runs batted in. I forget, hit like 330, 340 in terms of batting average. So, yeah, I've been a Red Sox fan all the way back, 1967, when they won the World Series. Let's see, all the way back from, Bonnie, Scotland. Where is it? I got to keep an eye when he comes down the stairs there. That's a long ways. Long ways away. Bonnie, Scotland. Nice. You see the playoffs tonight. Best time ever. So we get down here we have the Celtics versus the Heat. The Heat are down. Not sure they're going to make it much further, but at least the Florida Panthers hockey team is doing well. So lots going on down here in South Florida for the sports. And I have to find it. Jay, thank you very, very much. And what you guys are going to see, as I mentioned, the trivia questions for some of you guys who haven't seen it, I do as much as I can to basically give back to you guys. So be ready, because after he gets off, comes down the plane, we're going to do our first giveaway. Let's go Mariners. Ooh, you're out in Seattle. Hello from Florida, Trump country. Today I was right by Mar-a-Lago, so I got a new buddy that I've met through Twitter who's launching his own YouTube channel. He has a radio show, and met with him, did a show with him, and he lives right by Mar-a-Lago. So love your channel and commentary. I thank you for saying it. I can't believe so many people are from different areas down under Australia. Love it. Absolutely. Love living in Florida, though. Not going to lie. What's not to love? What's not to love about living here in Florida? Super chat from Sally says, and I can see, about a month ago I came across your channel from Black Conservative Perspective channel. He's got a good channel. I must say I like what you do here. I think you're well informed and your opinions are spot on. Keep up the good work. From New York City. Thank you very much. Absolutely, thank you very much for that. There's a lot of good guys out there doing some stuff. Damn phone is smarter than I am. I am from Landisville, Pennsylvania, small village in Hempfield School District. Okay, gotcha. Trenton, Missouri in the house. Yeah, it's so funny. The guy I met with today, quick story. He lives near Mar-a-Lago. As you guys may know, Sylvester Stallone just bought a house over there. Jeff Bezos bought 2 houses over there. and they laugh about this $18 million. So I said, here's your video idea. Since you live here, just drive down the street and stand in front of a house and go, okay, this house here behind me just sold for $80 million, and there's the man. He's coming down the stairs right now. Hold on. Yeah, see, that's why I had to cut the music, because YouTube will have a problem with that. But yeah, there he is in person coming down the stairs, and gotta love that site. I really love that site, and I hope he's got some of the best protection in the world, but gonna need it. Some crazy stuff happening around the world. So real quick about the Mar-a-Lago story, I said, hey, just make a video. Go to one of your neighbors and say, this house behind me, show the house behind you. Hey, this one just sold for $75 million. Drive up the road. Hey, this one just sold for $90 million. And show that these houses are basically small in comparison to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that people think that house is only worth, or that compound is only worth $18 million. That's absolutely crazy. Baltimore, Maryland in the house. I spent a lot of time in South Africa in the house. Oh boy, there we go. That's a long ways away. Coral Springs, Florida. You're a neighbor here. Of South Florida. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see what we got here. This is a much needed rally. Yeah, after the one, where was it? Last time in Wilmington, North Carolina, got canceled because of the weather. We were so pumped to see people, just coming together about this. And so now he's, out there. 2 rallies today, and nobody's seen Dementia Joe. Hide her hair. You don't know what he's doing. The world's on fire. College campuses are just battling like they're nuts out there. Where's Joe? Where is he? They got him hidden in the backyard somewhere. I don't know. Maybe back in Delaware. It's absolutely nuts. All right, so now that we've seen him, all right, so you guys ready for this? This is going to be the first one. So we're going to give away $25 gift certificate to Buffalo Wild Wings. Some of you guys who are out of the country, you have to show me some. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to say something here. Wait, what's he saying?
Thank you.
Oh, he's going right into it.
Wow. Thank you very much. Hello, Michigan. It's great to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hardworking, God-fearing American patriots, which is...
Okay, the first giveaway. I'm going to do this real quick. What was the name of Donald Trump's first book? $25 gift certificate to Buffalo Wild Wings. Just put it in the chat. Name of his first book.
Joe Biden, and we're going to make America great again. Last week we saw numbers showing clearly that the economy is crashing, with GDP growing and plunging and all over the place. Nobody knows what's happening, especially Biden. But GDP growth was plunging by more than 50% in the first quarter this year. Nobody's seen anything like that for a long time. We now have a thing called stagflation. Does anyone know what that means? It's not good. It's worse than deflation, and it's worse than inflation. Stagflation is the worst, and that's what we're in right now, which spells the death of the American dream, and that doesn't even include some of the horrible numbers we're seeing flowing in from poor and crime-ridden countries right across our southern border. They're coming in by the millions. That's why this November, the people of Michigan are going to tell crooked Joe Biden, Biden, you're fired. Get out of here.
Scruffy, go ahead and send me your email. That's all I really need. Email and name, and I'll get that out to you. Congratulations.
Michigan family has lost $20,000 or $30,000. Think of this. $20,000 to $30,000 thanks to the Biden inflation tax. We have a new term. It's called a new tax. It's called inflation tax. We call it the Biden inflation tax. That's what's happened, record kinds of inflation. And his price hikes are continuing to drain nearly $1,000 from the a typical family each month loses $1,000 on other different taxes. That's what he's done to you. And by the way, for the auto workers, we'll talk about it later. Your cars are all going to be made in China. Congratulations. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Extremely dumb.
Chicken is up 24%, baby food is up 30%, eggs are up 50%, gasoline is up 54%, airfares are up 33%, and the 30-year mortgage rate just hit 7.6%. When I left, it was 2.6%. We had no inflation. Everything was so good. Bidenomics is flat-out economic warfare and welfare on the American middle class and low-income people. It's a disaster. If Joe Biden wins this election, the middle class loses. But if Trump wins, the middle class wins. People of low income will start their journey toward the American dream. Michigan wins and America wins. That's what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to happen. Just days ago, Crooked Joe vowed to impose the largest tax in the history of America. It's going to be the biggest tax hike in the history of America. Biden said the Trump tax cuts are, quote, going to expire, and I'm not going to renew them if I'm reelected. He had no idea what the hell he was saying, so it doesn't really matter. That means under Biden, a single individual earning $75,000 a year will see an almost $2,000 tax hike, and a family of four earning $165,000, think of this, will see close to $3,000 in tax hikes over and above what you're paying right now. But instead of a Biden middle-class tax increase, I will deliver a Trump middle-class tax cut, the likes of which you've never seen before.
And he didn't mention the 25% capital gains tax that includes an imputed income.
In the Reagan tax cuts many years ago, you got the largest tax cuts in history. On day one, we will throw out Bidenomics and we will reinstate a thing called Maganomics.
Sorry to hear about that.
I'll terminate Joe Biden's radical plan to kill Michigan's economy by repealing his insane electric vehicle mandate. Is that the craziest thing? Is that the craziest thing? Everybody's going to have an electric vehicle. By 2030, he wants everyone to have an electric vehicle. There's a problem. They're very expensive and they don't go far. Not going far is not good. Also, they're not going to be made in Michigan. They're going to be made in China. Every single one going to be made in China. United Auto Workers, I just want to tell you, the head of the United Auto Workers has really let you down. To agree with that whole situation that they just did, that's so good for China and it's so bad for Michigan. But I'm going to turn it around. We're bringing the car industry back to Michigan. We're going to put tariffs on foreign cars, and we're bringing the car industry. We're putting tariffs on foreign cars. We're bringing the car industry back to Michigan. The Biden electric vehicle mandate will be an economic bloodbath. You know, they like to use that word bloodbath now. When I said it, it was perfectly stated. They make it sound bad, but it will be an economic bloodbath. Crooked Joe will rip out your auto jobs and send them immediately to China, who, by the way, you know, he's a Manchurian candidate. He makes a lot of money from China. They give him a lot of money. What's that all about? Under the Trump administration, we're going to take jobs out of China and bring jobs back to Michigan. We're going to keep Chinese cars the hell out of America. We don't want them. We don't want Chinese cars. Joe Biden wants to take your gasoline-powered cars and trucks, all about within 6 years, he wants to make them electric. It doesn't work. You know, if you want an electric car, I think it's great. I'm all for it. But if you want a gasoline combustion, if you want to have a hybrid, whatever the hell you want, you should be able to get. Everything will go to very expensive electric vehicles, which don't go, they just have such problems. But they have one problem that is insurmountable. If I want to drive from beautiful Michigan, let's say to Mar-a-Lago, what do I have to do? Stop about 7 times? It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And they want to turn army tanks all electric, so that as we go into enemy territory, shooting and shooting and killing and shooting and taking it over, we keep their air nice and clean, right? Isn't that nice? Where did they think? You know, I said something before. I just left Wisconsin. We had an incredible rally in Wisconsin. You know, I got to do 2 of these things a day. You know why? Because I'm in New York all the time with the Biden trial. Biden trial. A fake trial. That all of the legal scholars say is a disgrace. It's a fake trial. They do it to try and take your powers away, try and take your candidate away that's killing them in the polls. You know, if I didn't run, or if I was like in 4th place or 5th place or not doing well, none of those trials would exist. But we're beating them so big in the polls, your heart is going to swell. We got to get them out. And remember this, they also want to take your gas stoves. They want to give you very little water in your dishwashers and your washing machines. You know, they want washing machines with very little water. And I'm talking about in states like your state, you don't have a water problem. You do have a water problem. You have too much water. They want to take your water out of your washing machines, your dishwashers. They want to put water restrictors on your sinks and showers. You know, I ended all of that. People would buy a new home, and they were so proud, and they'd say, darling, it's so good. There's only one problem, darling, the sink. No water comes out, like drip, drip, drip. And darling, I have beautiful hair, but I can't do anything because in the shower, the water doesn't come out. Darling, I want to get out of this house. I hate it. And I say to him, take off the restrictor. But now they made the restrictor where you can't take it off unless you have a blowtorch, okay? Like our auto workers do, actually. They want your apartments and homes with small windows and every other crazy thing they can think of. They don't want you to have large windows because they're not as good with the sun. Actually, in many cases, they're better. I will end all of these ridiculous quality of life destroying mandates just as I did just 3.5 years ago. And days ago, crooked Joe Biden finalized a radical rewrite of Title IX education rules that will impose the most extreme left-wing gender ideology on every school in America. And I know you'll be extremely happy to know that the new Biden policy is to let men into every girl's bathroom. That sounds reasonable.
I got 2 little girl daughters.
Every bathroom, every locker room. Ladies, get ready because the men are coming in. They actually signed it. You know, I said in Wisconsin, I just came out and I said, the Republican Party really is the party of common sense. You know, we're conservative or all that. But whether you're conservative, you're liberal, it's about common sense. Dennis. We're the party. We want to have strong borders. We want to have low interest rates. We want to have a powerful military. We want to have great. By the way, it's windy as hell up here, man. I'm getting very little use out of these stupid teleprompters, I'll tell you. Could you imagine if Biden was up here and the teleprompters didn't work?
He wouldn't be able to do it.
He's no good even when they do work. You know, it still doesn't work. If I blow up the stage, I'll be right back up, I promise. But the gender policy, all of the different things that he's done, they're so bad. It's an attack on women. And remember this, they want to allow men to play in women's sports, okay?
You didn't get cheated. Somebody else got there before you.
I will defend American women like nobody has ever defended them before. And under the Trump administration, this lunacy will end. On my first day back in the Oval Office, I promise you it will end immediately. And regarding the squatters, where you have a problem, and by the way, you have a terrible governor. I hope you know that. Terrible. Remember during COVID, the only one that had any rights in your state was the governor's husband. Do you remember? Remember he was sailing, beautifully sailing, and you're not allowed to sail? For whatever reason, they wanted to keep you in your house. That didn't work out too well. And regarding the squatters all over the country who are trying to take over your apartments and your homes under the Trump administration, they will be gone immediately. They'll be gone in 2 minutes. Joe Biden is the worst, most incompetent, most corrupt president in the history of our country. And Crooked Joe knows that in a fair election, he's going down in a landslide. Every poll is showing that. You've seen the polls. We're leading big in Michigan, by the way. We're leading big. Why wouldn't we? Who wouldn't be? I mean, honestly, who the hell wouldn't be leading? This guy is coming out of a helicopter the other day. He's falling. He's holding on. Can you imagine the foreign countries? Like I visited China. They must have had 100,000 soldiers there. President Xi is standing there. Can you imagine falling out of an airplane or coming down the children's stairs as they have 100,000 soldiers? That's why Biden is trying so hard to jail. He wants to jail his political opponent like they do in third world countries or banana republics. He wants to give it a shot. There's only one problem. Every one of these fake cases is bullshit. Every single one of them. Terrible.
Awesome, awesome.
And as you know, I've come here today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a crowd.
Good point.
I remember in 2020, we got more, I don't know if you know, in 2020 we got more votes than any president, any sitting president in history by far. And by the way, there's no way he got 80 million votes, in case you had any questions. We got more votes than any sitting president by far. They said if I got the 63 million that I got the first time, which we won, that there was no way I could lose. I got millions and millions of more votes than that. And they nipped us. They just nipped it. We're not letting that happen again. We're not letting that bullshit happen again. We're not going to let it. As you know, I have come here today from New York City, where I'm being forced to sit for days on end in a kangaroo courtroom with a corrupt and conflicted judge enduring a Biden sideshow trial at the hands of a Marxist district attorney, Soros-backed, who's taking orders from the Biden administration. They're all of these trials. By the way, so if I didn't run, or if I came in fourth, I'd have no problem right now. I'd be in a beautiful someplace. I'd be someplace, but you know what? Honestly, look at this crowd. I'd rather be with you. I'd much rather be with you. Much rather. I'd much rather be with you.
Thank you, Ray.
But what you're witnessing in New York is not a legal proceeding. It's an unlawful exercise in very stupid and very evil politics. But here's the good news. It's driven the poll numbers higher than we've ever had before. Because people get it. It's a scam, and they get it. These indictments are not just an attack on me. They're an assault on the constitutional rights of all Americans. Remember this, Alphonse Capone. Has anyone ever heard of Al Capone? Scarface. He would kill people if he looked at them and didn't like them. They'd be dead the next morning. They'd never find the body. He got indicted less than I did. Do you believe it? Scarface. I got so many indictments. One day I came in, sir, you've been indicted twice today. I said, oh boy, I thought it was going to be 3 times. That's incredible. Now, these are corrupt people. They did this because it's an attack on a political opponent. And a lot of political opponents wouldn't do too well under those circumstances. But I have a relationship with the people, and I explain it to them, and they understand it's a scam. And they understand it's the worst president in the history of our country by far, who couldn't get elected dog catcher, except that he's in a party that's really good at cheating. That's one thing. They're not good at policy. They're horrible. Open borders, high interest rates, high taxes, bad military. Everything's bad. No home. Everything's bad. But they're great at cheating in elections. It's about the only thing they do well. The ultimate verdict on this travesty will not come in a courtroom. It will come at the ballot box, and the American people are going to find Crooked Joe Biden guilty of trying to destroy our country. He's destroying our country.
You're welcome.
He's destroying our country. And you know, it's interesting. I said it a couple of times before to large crowds, but what happened is incredible. And we could have done something on Hillary Clinton. I thought it would be a terrible thing for the country, to be honest with you. Terrible. We could have done on other people, too. I thought it would be terrible for the country. And they did on me what was never, ever supposed to happen, especially when there's nothing. But you know what? It was very interesting. When this happened, and it happened very quickly, I changed my tune. I said, thank you very much, because now I speak about him. I had great reverence for the presidency, President of the United States. And I used to talk about him fairly tough, but not nearly as tough as he deserved, because I had respect for the office, not for him so much, but for the office. And now I say he's the worst president in history. He's the most corrupt president in history. He's grossly incompetent. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't have a clue. He is a disaster for our country. And I say it over and over again, and I have no problem in saying it. He's the worst president in the history of our country, and we got to get him out, because he's destroying America. He's destroying our great country. In the middle of a presidential election, think of it, the Republican nominee for president is being attacked like nobody's ever been attacked before. But all of that being done and all of that being said, the fake charges, the legal targets, everything. And, you know, we've had tremendous reviews from great people. Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy,
sugar-free fruit
Mark
punch.
Levin, Greg Jarrett, Sean Hannity, so many people. But great experts, great legal experts. Alan Dershowitz just came out saying there's no case, there's no crime. He didn't do anything wrong. What are you doing? These are people, not every one of them love me. These are people that just want to speak the truth. They said there's no, Andy McCarthy today, there's no case. It's a witch hunt, and we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. They can't do that to our country. The judge, by the way, is the most conflicted person in the history. I don't think there's ever been a more conflicted judge. Crooked and conflicted. And I'm unconstitutionally gagged. He gagged me. So I'm not even supposed to be, I would say, talking to you, because he gagged me. Think of it. Former president and a very popular president. We had the greatest economy in history. We had the best, safest border that we ever had in history. I rebuilt the military. We created Space Force. We had the biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cut. And then I run again and win in the fastest time in the history of the Republican or Democrat Party. I won the nomination. Somebody else would still be campaigning to try and win. I won it 2 months ago. Took down some very talented people very quickly, very precisely, very easily. And I have a judge, politically appointed. I have a judge who gagged me. I'm not allowed to talk about things. And nobody's seen anything quite like it, I have to tell you. But the good news is we can explain it. Somebody else wouldn't be able to explain it, not because they couldn't, but because there'd be 3 people in the audience. I can explain it. Look at all those fake cameras back there. Then I had another judge. These are New York judges. I had another judge, Judge Engoron. He takes assets that are worth billions and billions of dollars, and he says, oh, they're worth just a little bit, like 18 million. He takes an asset that's worth $1 billion, $1.5 billion. He says it's worth 18 because that's his narrative. And they come out against me on something where it was absolutely perfect. And he said, oh, you're rich. Pay a $500 million fine. $500 million! And we want a bond. But the problem is bonding companies don't do bonds of that amount. They do a bond for $1 million, $2 million. They don't do bonds of $500 million. But he comes up on a perfect trial, great financial statements. I built a great company. He comes out and he finds me $500 million. And he found me guilty before the case even started. He said, he's guilty. And the guy doesn't even, the other day, he didn't know what cash was. We said, we're going to put up all cash. And he didn't know what that meant. And this is the guy that's ruling on me in New York. And then we have another one in New York who gave someone $91 million because they said I defamed her. Because I said her story isn't true, I defamed her. $91 million. $91 million. Oh, good. So anyway, hopefully the appeal process works, because if it doesn't, you just don't have a country. $91 million because I defamed her. Unbelievable. And I didn't defame anybody. Businesses all over the world are watching. They're fleeing New York State because of all of this crap that's going on. They're fleeing, and they're not coming back either. They're not coming back. And hopefully the court system will straighten out, because all over the world they're watching this stuff. They're watching this current trial, and they're seeing what a scam it is. And they don't like it. Nobody likes it. But hopefully we'll win all of that stuff easily on appeal. We haven't had a decision here, but the decision here can probably only be one thing, I guess, because this whole thing, it's a rigged deal. It's a rigged deal. And we shouldn't allow this to happen in this country. We can't allow this to happen in this country. But the fact is, the important vote to me is the vote on November 5th, because it's going to turn out to be the single most important day in the history of our country. And Absolutely. We're going to get things straightened out.
Absolutely. Freedom for them. Absolutely right.
We're like in the Soviet Union. That's what's happened to this country. You know, we are. Okay, go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Think of this. Just think of this. Joe Biden failed on the border. He failed on inflation. He failed on gas prices. He failed on every single thing, including Afghanistan, the most vicious, embarrassing day or period in the life of this country, Afghanistan. Remember that disaster? The most embarrassing day. He failed on every single thing he touches turns to shit. Every single thing he touches turns out to be no good. He's no good on policy. He's no good on military. He's no good on finance. Our country is crashing. He's no good on inflation. Inflation is a disaster. It's eating you alive. It's a wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We are the only ones. You know, when I say we have a big group of people like this all over the place, and we have more voters. I say we have 250 million people. I say we have 250 million people that want to see our country be great again.
You may not be too
far off. In the new Emerson poll just came out, we're up 4 points in Michigan. In another one, we're up 7 points. And I saw one where we're 11 points up in Michigan. And why wouldn't we be? We're also leading in every single swing state, every one of them. That's why we have to watch the cheating. Keep your eyes open. Watch the cheating. The radical left, Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, but we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election, the most important day of our lives in 2024. We're not going to allow it. We're going to protect the vote, and I'm pleased to, this is the first time I've announced this, actually, announced that our campaign is going to be leading a historic effort in conjunction with the RNC, that's Republican National Committee, the state parties, and a team of the most highly qualified lawyers and other professionals in the country to ensure that what happened in 2020 will never happen again. We're not going to allow it to happen again.
That's big. That's huge.
The only good thing about 2020, it showed how bad they are. It showed what a rotten job they do. That's why we're more popular now than we were 4 years ago. Because you like Trump. And you know what I hate? When these guys get on television, they say, the pundits, you know, the great pundits that never did a thing in their whole lives. You know, we have two very unpopular candidates. We have Biden Now we have Trump. These are very unpopular. I'm not unpopular. We had 94%, 95% popularity in the Republican Party. I'm not unpopular. It's amazing. I'm not unpopular. I'm unpopular with China. China doesn't like me too much.
Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek.
Hundreds of billions of dollars from China. No other president took in 10 cents. Other countries, Germany, other countries, I did a lot. Oh, I love that. Look at that young lady. Turn that around. I love that. Wow. That's beautiful. Wow. I want to buy that from you. I want to wear that. Thank you, darling. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Really beautiful. No matter how you vote, whether it's early on election day, by mail or in person, it doesn't matter. We'll make sure your ballot is secure. We want to make you sure, but we're going to be sure that your ballot's secure. You're not going to put in ballots that don't count. You're not going to put in and do things. You're not going to have other people not there, but putting in a ballot. Like a couple of cases that you happen to hear about. I'm sure you heard about a little place called Detroit, right? Where they had more ballots than they had voters. A little thing like that. And then by the time the people got screamed at all night, they sort of said, oh, they were called every name under the book. And they sort of said, oh, but they had, think of it, they had more ballots than they had voters. We're not going to let it happen again. And you have to be very vigilant, too, because you can see it. You see it happening better than anybody else. It's really a source. We're going to watch the radical left Democrat like hawks. All these Democrats we're going to watch like hawks because, honestly, I don't like saying this. They cheat like hell. They cheat like hell. In plenty of other places, too. And we're going to make America great again. It's very simple. We're going to make our country great again. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor because I'm being indicted for you. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom, and it's good. It's good. Never. And it's good that I have a good memory. You know why? Because this teleprompter is facing you, not facing.
I'm going to give this away, too.
These teleprompters are just gonzo, folks. They're gonzo. I hate to use the word folks. Cross out the word folks. You ever hear Biden? Every other word is folks. Okay, folks. It's like a nervous habit. I don't use the word folks. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. And I just happen to be standing in their way. Standing in their way. And I really, it's an honor to have this crowd. This is a hell of a crowd. That's a big, look at it. They go past the hangar.
I'm going to give that hoodie away tonight. Hopefully it fits you. But we're going to do the giveaways again because I didn't want to interrupt his speech. So we'll do those after the speech.
Never happens. I want the press to take their cameras and turn them around. And right from the beginning, from 2015, you know, before we ran, and as we had these big crowds, never an empty seat, but we had the big crowds. And I would ask them, turn around and show the crowd. And even the ones that are semi-friendly, they just wouldn't do it. And I thought it was a mechanical problem that they couldn't do it, but they could. I learned that they could. There you go. But I'd like them to turn the camera backwards and see the crowds and see the people that can't even get in here. And I thought it was a mechanical. I figured the steel, and you can't turn the camera. And then in 2016, there was a very bad fight in the backhand, left-hand corner of the room, and the cameras hardly had access to it. And those cameras turned around like a pretzel. And I realized they don't want to show our crowds. They don't want to show our crowds. But I'd love you and the fake news media to turn the cameras around and show the crowds. It would be a great thing. Watch. The cameras will be dead on. They never do it because they're fake. That's why we call them the fake news. That's why we call them the fake news. So we're pleased to be joined. It makes no sense. You know, it would be more exciting for somebody watching at home to see a big crowd. But for some reason, they just don't do it. And I guess they're instructed by the boss not to do it. But we're going to kick the boss's ass pretty soon.
Yeah, there we
go. We're pleased to be joined tonight by a man who is going to be a warrior in the United States Senate. And more importantly, he's just going to be a winner. He's going to win this race. This is going to be, I think, an easy race. He's highly respected. Mike Rogers will vote to secure our borders, crack down on sanctuary cities, support our police, and stop the crime that is ravaging your communities and ravaging our countries. He'll vote to block the Biden tax hikes. He'll allow...
So while he's talking about these other politicians, it gives me a chance here. So I noticed that some people were coming in after I did that first giveaway, and they thought they were first. Those are people who probably jumped into the stream late and weren't here at the beginning, so they thought they heard it at that time, obviously. But I did give it away, but we're going to give away 3 more after he's done speaking, and then we'll give away the sweatshirt.
By the way, before I do with Mike, China is building some of the largest auto plants in the world along our border in Mexico, and they think they're going to take those cars and sell them into the United States and lose all your jobs in Michigan. And you ought to tell the head of the auto workers, as a union boss, he stinks, because what he's allowing to happen to you as union workers, and we're going to get 95% of the auto workers anyway, but we're going to put tariffs on those cars, and we're not going to let them sell those cars in the United States. We're not going to let it happen. Mike will be facing off against a far-left liberal lunatic named Slotkin. She's terrible. She's terrible. Not respected in Washington, laughed at, gives everything away to the opponent, very big for China. She fully supports banning gas-powered cars and trucks. She wants you by the way, especially you, somebody that's against gasoline-powered cars, you can't have them in this state. Because if you told me you want to have her, and if somebody wanted to fight me on gas-powered, then we can't make your auto industry great, because it's only going to be the hybrids and the gasoline-powered cars that are going to turn around your state. So you have no choice but to vote against her. Slotkin is also an open borders extremist who has repeatedly voted for mass amnesty. She is not, I don't think she's going to, I tell you, Mike, I think you're going to win this thing big. A vote for Slotkin is a vote to raise your taxes, kill Michigan manufacturing jobs, and flood your communities with illegal aliens and a lot of Chinese-built electric vehicles. I don't think we want them in Michigan. That's why you must vote for Mike Rogers, highly respected, no matter where he goes. Mike, come on up, Mike.
Come on up. Show some love and
here.
Click that like button. Come on, show some love and click that like button.
Hi, Mike. Mike. Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, so why this guy is talking. So let me go ahead, because I didn't come here for Mike, came here for Trump. I'm going to give away number 2. So some of you guys have been here. Again, I'm going to give a $25 gift certificate to any Buffalo Wild Wing anywhere near you. All I need you to do is send me your email address, name. I don't need any more information than that. You can find my email down below in the description. If not, I'll have to put it there. But here is the second trivia question. You guys ready? All right, get ready. Number 2 question. What college was the first college that Donald Trump went to? And understand, it might not be what you think, so if you don't know, you might have to Google it quick. We'll see what happens, but let's see if anybody gets it. What college did Donald Trump go to initially? All right, so what we got here? So I'm going to turn it back up. I see Penn State. No, that's not it. Hillsdale. Here, let me turn up Mike. Let him talk.
Come in, people haven't heard he's a man who was tested and highly respected in Washington, and that's what you need, especially with the car industry and all of the other things.
Nobody's got it yet. Howard? No, not Trump University. Nope, it wasn't
I thought
Wharton.
That was China.
Wasn't Columbia.
That was a loud plane. That was an old one. Those old ones are a little loud.
Nope, not NYU.
We're
not,
also pleased to be joined by
haven't
Michigan
seen it yet.
GOP
Not Michigan
Chair
State,
Ambassador
not
and
Harvard,
a very good friend of
not
mine,
Wharton.
Pete Hoekstra. He's fantastic. Pete,
Cool.
hi, Pete. Thank you. How we doing, Pete? Everything
All right, guys.
good?
I don't see
I
it
hear
yet.
very good numbers. Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Oh, wait a minute. We got it. We got it here.
Was an
I
ambassador,
think this is the
and
first
everything
one.
he did, he was really successful at. He was
Let me have
with
to
me
make
all the
sure,
way.
but it's
Michigan
Marion
Senate
Brindley.
Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you,
While
Eric.
he's doing interviews, introductions. Marion Brindley, I think you're the first one who said it. Oh, you know what? I missed somebody, and because I missed them, I'm going to have to give out two, because it looks like Tim Adams also got it as well. So, my bad. I missed the first one, so the two of you guys got to send me your information so I can get those gift certificates out to you. $25 gift certificates to Buffalo Wild Wings. Thank you for playing. We're going to do two more before we sign off tonight. So you got to be quick. I see some other guys coming in with the information, but you were late with your answer, and Tim Adams and the other lady got it first. I was kicked out. What were you kicked out? You were kicked out of college. I see some of these guys are getting answers. Got to be quick. These people are on it. They hear the question, and then boom, they either know it or they go to Google real quick. But it was Fordham University where Trump went to initially. So send me your email, name, and last name, not your screen name, so I can get those out to you early. Probably by Monday we'll get those out to you.
All built, all ready to be put up, and then we had a rigged election, but it was all ready to be put up. But we built more than I said we were going to build, and we had another 200 miles coming. Would have been great. Filled up some of the loops, and they decided they didn't want to put it up. That's
answer was Fordham University in New York,
and that's the way it works out. And remember this: I said to Mexico, you got to give us 28,000 soldiers. They laughed at me. They said, what do we do that for? And I like the president of Mexico very much. He's a socialist, but that's okay. He's a nice guy. I said, you got to give me 28,000 soldiers to protect the border because you're killing our border. You're sending all these people in the caravans. And he said, I can't do that. I said, you're going to do that. You have to do that. Anyway, I said, I'm putting a 100% tariff on everything that you send into the country from now on. They said, we would be pleased to give you 28,000 soldiers. And they did. And we had the safest border in the history of our country, and now we have the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a border like it. Crooked Joe Biden, in his horrible way, it's just he's made our country a dumping ground. In Venezuela, violent crime is down 67% because they took their criminals and their gang members and their drug dealers and they moved them into the United States of America, and their crime is now down 67%. That's a beauty. And right here in Michigan, your state is being torn up to pieces with migrant crime. It's a new term, migrant crime.
That's
3
all they
months
have.
ago,
Trolling is all they have.
An illegal alien criminal was sentenced in Kent County for executing a 22-year-old Grand Rapids woman while she was in the car with her 1-year-old baby, shooting her at least 5 times, 4 times in the head with a rifle at point-blank range while the killer was, he was wanted all over the world. He couldn't get in during the Trump administration, but like everybody else, he just
send me your information, Michael.
Administration killed this woman viciously and violently. In Oakland County, organized squads of illegal alien gang members, and they are taking over. The only thing good about them is they make our criminals look like nice people, okay? These are rough people.
Too fast.
They're hiding in the bushes, breaking into rural and suburban homes after dark, looting them for jewelry, purses, electronics, watches, cash. You know better than I do. That's in Oakland, but it's all over your state. It's all over almost every state. And last week in St. Joseph's County, An illegal alien was charged with breaking into a Michigan home and sexually assaulting 2 young girls while threatening to kill them if they screamed or tried to escape. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of the American suburbs, cities, and towns. We're going to stop it cold. We will immediately end all sanctuary and deadly sanctuary cities. I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement, and we will impose a naval blockade on the cartels, because when we clean up the land, they come in by sea, and they have plenty of money to do it. We will put the cartels out of business. They will be out of business, and quickly. And on day 1, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. Right? Thank you. All you need to know about Joe Biden is that every 100 days he's adding 500,000 illegal immigrants and $1 trillion in debt. Remember this. They're coming in by the millions. I think the real number already in our country is 15 million. That means traffickers, usually mostly in women. That means drug dealers. But it means a lot of people. YouTube. And these are people coming out of jails and prisons. They're coming out of mental institutions, insane asylums. These are not people we want. And they're coming from all over the world. You know, they're not coming just from South America. Last week they came, 22 came out of prisons from the Congo in Africa. We wish them well. From the Congo, they came out rough people. Where do you live? The Congo. Where are the Congo? We came out of prison in the Congo. They've emptied their prisons from South America, from Africa, from all over the world, including even places in Europe. They've emptied from Asia. They've emptied their prisons into the United States of America. Prison population all over the world is down, and nobody knows why except for us. We know why. Because the prisons are being emptied into the United States, and the mental institutions are being emptied into the United States of America like we're a dumping ground, because we have a president who's a stupid person, or he hates our country.
Or both.
Or he hates our country. And this is not sustainable by any... No country can sustain this. Nothing like this has ever happened, and no country can sustain this. Crooked Joe, with his insane border policies, will destroy Medicare and Social Security, because they're going to go out of business. And you know now, so it's been very interesting. And again, some states have been right where they wanted to be. Other states have gone more liberal than they wanted, and some have gone more conservative. But it's all working out. And the votes are coming up now in certain cases, and it's all starting to work out. And it's going to ultimately bring our country together. It gets the vote down to the people. We did something that took courage. We did something that everybody wanted to see. But now I say it's up to the states, and I want to thank the Supreme Court justices for having the courage. Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, John Roberts, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, for the wisdom and the courage to do this. This took a great deal of courage and a great deal of wisdom to do this. And all we want to do is we have to get our country back together. It takes a very long fought-over issue, an issue that was never going to be resolved, according to many. It brings it back to the states where every legal scholar and where most people wanted to see it. And it's working out. So I just want to thank the Supreme Court for the wisdom and for the courage, and thank you very much. From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. I think we can do that. It's not easy. Not easy with what they're giving us, I will tell you. But the one thing that has been interesting about this 4 years, it shows how bad their policies are. It shows that their policies don't work. And one of the reasons we are more popular than we were 4 years ago, we were very popular, but more popular is because they're so bad. They're so incompetent. They're so evil. They're so corrupt. And it makes us look that much better. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, we win. All of us together are going to win. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. I know them both. I will get it settled. We will demand that Europe pay much more for the cost of defense. You know, we're paying the lion's share to Ukraine. And I keep saying, why isn't Europe paying more? You know, the economy of Europe, if you add up all the various countries, is about the same size as the United States. They've got plenty of money. Why are we paying, and they're paying very little by comparison? They have to equalize, and they have to equalize fast. It's not right. And remember, it's more important to them. We have a thing called an ocean between us. Much more important to them. They have to come up with the money. That means somebody has to ask them. You know, I did it with NATO. I said, you're not paying your fair share. They said, you're the only one that's ever said that. I was the only president. Bush would make a speech. Obama would make a speech. They'd all go and make speeches, and they'd leave, and that'd be it. I didn't make a speech. I said, what are you doing? I looked at the books. I said, we're paying 90%, maybe even 100% of NATO. So we're defending you militarily, and you're taking advantage of us on trade. How does that work? And I said, you have to pay. They ended up putting up more than $430 billion, $430 billion, because I asked. Now I asked the right way. I remember during a meeting, one of the presidents of one of the European countries stood up, and it was a closed-door meeting. He said, may I ask you a question, Mr. President? Yes. If we don't pay, we're not paid up, and we're attacked by Russia, will you defend us? I said, you mean you're delinquent? You haven't paid? That's right. No, I will not defend you. The next day, the money came pouring in. You got the money. I took a lot of heat from the fake news. They said, you shouldn't treat allies like that. I said, no, allies shouldn't treat us like that. They should pay their bills.
Absolutely.
And it made NATO much stronger because of it. It made NATO rich and strong.
Love Benny's
and the
stuff.
head of NATO,
I like his stuff.
The Secretary General, he said, Stoltenberg, he said that Trump is amazing. He did something that nobody else has been able to do. It's incredible. Now, I don't know if he'd say that today, but he certainly said it then, and I think he said it recently, even again. And another thing that was very good is a country, Hungary, very strong leader, Viktor Orban. They asked him, why is the world blowing up? What's wrong? This is a few weeks ago. Why is it so bad? What do you recommend? Now, he's a strong man. He's a strong guy. He's a tough leader. He runs a country very well. He allowed no illegal immigrants in his country. He went against other European countries, which have frankly half destroyed themselves. And I said, they asked him the question, what would you recommend? He said, I would recommend one thing. Get Donald Trump elected president again, and you're going to have no problems anywhere in the world. Get him elected president.
Absolutely.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you. It's true. I don't want to be the one to say it, but if I don't say it, nobody else will. That I can tell you. And he used a word I wouldn't use, but he used it. He said, China was afraid of him. I don't like to use the word afraid. Let's say they respected me. But he said, China was afraid of him. Russia was afraid of him. Look what I did to Russia. Nord Stream 2, nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. Nobody in this audience. I'm the only one that knew what it was. It's the biggest pipeline in the world going to serve Europe. And I said, so we're defending them against Russia, and yet they're paying Russia billions of dollars a month for oil. How does that make sense? I ended it. I closed Nord Stream 2. Then they say that I was friendly to Russia. I wasn't friendly to Russia. I got along with Putin. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. But I closed Nord Stream 2. And Putin said to me, if you're friendly to me, I'd hate like hell to see if you weren't friendly. This is not good. He was not happy. But I closed up the pipeline before it got finished, before it got built. When Biden came in, one of the first things he did is approve Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline in the world. And then they say, oh, Trump was very soft. They're full of misinformation and disinformation. That's all they're good at. That and cheating on elections. That's all they're good at. Biden's weakness has led the planet to the edge of nuclear war. I will bring the world glorious new peace, and I will make the following statement. I am the only one that can say this, I believe. I know them all, and they respect me. They don't respect our country anymore. It's a country that's in decline, but they respect me, and we're going to have it back very soon. We're going to have a great country very soon. But I'll say this. I will prevent World War III. I'm the only one that's going to do it. Biden.
Yeah, got to do that.
You know, if I were president, if the election were an election that it should have been, you would have never had Russia attacking Ukraine. Even Democrats admit this. Would have never happened. Never did happen for 4 years. Not even a discussion. Russia wouldn't be attacking Ukraine. And on October 7th, Israel would have never been attacked by Iran. Iran was broke. When I was president, Iran was broke. I told China, if you buy 1 barrel of oil from Iran, you're not going to do any business in the United States. I said that to many countries, and they did very little oil. Check it out. They did almost no business in selling oil, which is their lifeblood. And we would have had a deal within 1 week after the presidential election. We would have had a deal. And you know what the deal would have been? It would have been fine for them. But it would have had one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And now they're 60 days from having a nuclear weapon because these people have done nothing. I gave it to them on a silver platter. They were broke. They had no money. And I heard this from a Democrat congressman on Deface the Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, deface the nation. And he said, I will admit that under Trump, Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for terror. And now they have $230 billion. They made it in 3.5 years. But we'll get something done. But it's a very precarious position. But I will prevent World War III, and we will have peace through strength. That's what we're going to have.
Understand, this is this guy's second rally of the day, and he's gone nearly 90 minutes. His second rally of the day. Joe can't do that. Not even close.
I'm saying, why don't we have that? We should have that too. We have a lot of hostile people out there. We have a lot of bad actors out there. We're going to build the greatest dome of them all. We're going to have it all made right here in America. Some of it's going to be made right here in Michigan. State-of-the-art missile defense shield that will be entirely built in America and will create jobs, and we're going to have the greatest dome of them all. We're going to have greater. You saw how effective that was with Israel last week with 300 rockets shot, every one of them knocked out, every one of them knocked down. Probably if they didn't have it, they wouldn't even have Israel right now, if you think about it, right? All those would have hit various locations. Virtually none of them got through. Amazing. We're going to have a more sophisticated version. We have the technology. We have the genius. We're going to have we're going to build a great Iron Dome. We're going to have a shield around our country, and it's made here, and it's going to be a great thing. We're also going to rebuild our cities, and we're going to make them beacons of hope and safety and beauty, better than they have ever been before. Right now, they're crime-ridden. They're falling apart. They're run by Democrats. I'll work with the Democrats. We're going to rebuild our cities. You see what's happening with your cities. You see Detroit. For 35 years, I've heard about this great comeback in Detroit, and we're still waiting. We're still waiting. It's taken a long time, but we're going to make our cities great again. We're going to take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., clean it up, renovate it, rebuild our capital city so that it will become the most beautiful capital in the world again, and we're going to get rid of the horrible, violent crime that's taking place there. You go there from Michigan and you end up getting stabbed or shot. and people aren't even going. It's horrible. Graffiti all over the place. We're going to take it back. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to renovate it and build it, and we're going to make it much more beautiful than it ever was. It'll be the most beautiful capital city anywhere in the world, and we have an obligation to do it. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children. I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
Thank you.
I will keep men out of women's sports day one. Day one. Signed up. Day one. How ridiculous is that? How crazy.
Very
That's like
ridiculous.
open border. I mean, there are things that are so crazy. Like, who the hell wants an open border where countries from all over the world are infiltrating and violating our country? It's the same with men playing in women's sports. I mean, take a look at what's happening. Take a look. It's so disrespectful to women. But take a look at what's happening to records. Records that have stood for 18 years are being shattered. Shattered by numbers that nobody's ever even thought of before. I will fully uphold the always under siege Second Amendment, guns. I will always uphold. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech, and we need free speech in this country. And I will do something that nobody else has a passion for like I do. I will secure our elections and make them real, beautiful, safe elections. And our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. Very simple. Voter ID. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win. We have to win. That's why I say, use your heart. Go back to the abortion question. We have to win. But we have to go out. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very bad period for this country. We have to win those elections. We want, in the case of our election, our presidential election, we want a landslide that's too big to rig. Too big to rig. We got to make it so big. Because one thing we know, at a certain level, they can't cheat. They can cheat, but it won't matter. So we think we're going to have them stopped, but that's what they do best. We want to make our win too big to rig. If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as crooked Joe Biden and the Biden administration has done. And I used to say, and you know that because a year ago, if you heard me at a rally, and the rallies are bigger and better and stronger than ever before, the whole thing is ready for a big victory on November 5th. But if you heard me, I used to say if you took the 5 worst presidents, now I said that's not enough. Now I say 10 worst. I have a feeling by the next time we meet, it'll be the 15 and maybe the 20 worst. He's so bad. He's the worst president ever. It's pathetic. And you know what? As a country, we're laughed at all over the world. All over the world, we're laughed at. He flies to Saudi Arabia to meet the king. He's in the plane for 24 hours. He stumbles out of the plane. He meets the king finally. And instead of shaking his hand, he gives him a fist pump. In other words, don't touch me. I don't want to touch your hand. This is what we got negotiating for us. He can't negotiate. He can't do anything right. And everything he touches turns out bad. And we just don't want it. We want to make our country great again. We're tired of watching this clown show. So if you want to save America, get every common sense person you know, you go register and vote Republican. Karina. You got to vote for us. You got to vote for Mike and everybody else on the ticket. But we're going to turn it around fast, Mike, right? We're going to turn it around fast, and he's going to be a great help. I'm so happy that he's running, frankly. I'm so happy. So in conclusion, together, we are taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. We've never seen anything like it. But no matter how hateful and corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting against may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right. This is your God-given right. From Marquette to Midland, from Frankfort to Flint, and from Detroit to Saginaw, we stand on the shoulders of red-blooded Michigan patriots who laid out the railroads, worked the factories, tilled the fields, forged the steels, fought the battles, and won the victories that made America into the greatest and most powerful nation anywhere in the world. We love our nation. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and it's lost its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way, but we are not going to allow this horror, it's an absolute horror, to continue any longer. 3 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
Thank you very much.
It was hard-working patriots like you, the people of Michigan, who built this country, and it's hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country. Our country must be saved. Our country is in big, very dangerous trouble. Our country has never been in a position like this. We're laughed at all over the world. We're not respected by anybody. Our economy is going to hell. Inflation is eating everybody alive. Everything is wrong with our country. There's nothing that's going right. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. 2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout out the fake news media. We will drain the swamp. And we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. We will liberate our country. Like those patriots before us, we will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield, we will never give in, we will never give up, we will never, ever, ever back down, we will never back down. With your support, we will go on to victory, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024.
Thank you, Tom.
The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer, and it wasn't forgotten. Man and woman 4 years ago was not forgotten. They were somebody. They were proud. They loved our country. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Michigan. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless you.
All right, had to cut it because the music started and can't play music on YouTube. What an amazing rally. Thank you, Donald Trump. Dude went, by my count, 92 minutes on his second rally of the day. Second rally of the day, in addition to doing Wisconsin. After being in court yesterday, having to get back on his plane, fly back to New York today, stay in Trump Tower, go back to court tomorrow, sit there for 8 hours in a cold courtroom all day. He's doing stuff that they couldn't even imagine that Dementia Joe could do. There's no way he could stand out there. And first of all, he can't do any ad-libbing. So he'd have to basically read a script and just and then lean over and whisper to you. He can't say anything. He can't talk. Man, I don't even know how this is even going to be close other than them fudging numbers and doing some of the stuff that they are known to do, because how could you compare the two? I mean, I know there's been some trolls in here and some people are saying, some things, but those are people who are just got their blinders on and they just don't want to hear the truth. These two men standing next to each other, the contrast is stark. He went through a litany of things. What is it that, if you have a problem with Donald Trump, what is it? Don't tell me that it's this criminal stuff. That's BS. What exactly is, I've never been able to get anyone to define what exactly the policy that he wants to do that they have a problem with. They never are able to say it to you. Just like the kids up who are protesting and they're asked questions, they can't even answer why they're even protesting. And so some of you guys that are trolls, I know that's what you like to do, but it's very simple. Adults can have conversations. I didn't ban anybody tonight because sometimes I just like to say, tell me what it is you don't like. You just don't like the guy? Why? Why don't you like him? It doesn't really matter. Like he said to, a lot of the black people 4 years ago, what do you got to lose? Are you enjoying paying more higher gas price? Are you enjoying paying more for your groceries? Are you enjoying basically paying higher rent and mortgage payments? Are you enjoying paying higher car payments? What is it that you like about what Biden has done? Are you enjoying seeing the border being crashed? Tell me any of those things that make sense to you that you say, I need to keep this guy, Dementia Joe, in office, because I can't understand how anybody can stand next to him and say, oh yeah, I'd rather have this. Unless you have one of those alternative lifestyles that you really think that we all should give a shit about. I don't. If you want to play cosplay and do it in your bedroom and do whatever you want to do with your partner, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. Just don't bring it into the schools. But, they can never articulate. If you ask them straight up, say, hey, Joe Troll, stop being a troll and just tell us what it is that you don't like about Trump. And please don't tell me about lawsuits, because you have to admit this stuff is BS. I don't care about E. Jean Carroll. I don't care about Fannie Willis. I don't care about Letitia James. I care about policies. I care about how my family is going to be taken care of. I care about, can my business run without impediment. I care about not being able to say certain words on a stream because of what could happen. I care about that taken away. Are you okay with all that? Are you okay with people not being able to talk? Are you okay with people not able to earn a living the way they want to earn a living? Are you okay with people having to basically own nothing and be happy? Are you okay with people being forced to take a jab? What is it that in the last 4 years you say, yeah, this is much better. My life is much better? Because if you can't say that, I'm going to call you out on it and call you a liar. There's no way on any of those things. Economy, safety, country, what's better? It's just not there. It's just not there. Yeah, Snake Charmer, you're right. It's just blind obedience. They've been told to be Democrats, and that's just the way it is, but they can never articulate what exactly is it that you love so much about what's going on. And if you do love censorship and you do love some of the other stuff I mentioned, then you're not really an American. You're probably close to a Marxist or close to being a commie as you possibly can, and you hate the world for your position in life. Because if you want to advance in life, there is nothing that's going to advance you that Dementia Joe is pushing. 44% in tax? You're absolutely out of your mind. I have something I can tell you guys, and then we're going to do some giveaways. All right, so you ready for this? This is how you end up shutting up any liberal anywhere. One question you have to ask them. You just sit back, with your arms folded, and you can just say to them, I got one question for you. You're always screaming about fair share. Can you define fair share for me, please? Can you put a number? Can you qualify it? Tell me what the fair share is. No one, not a single one, will ever have an answer. Do you know why? Because it's a bullshit thing that there doesn't exist. Fair share means how much can I take from you? Because you could quantify it. Hey, listen, I think everyone should pay X percentage. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put that'll be the fair share. We'll never change it. Oh, no. We got to come back. Now we got to get 44% of your income. So you're telling me you want people to work 4, 5, 6 months of the year to pay the government the luxury of not living the life they want to live. That's a losing proposition in my book. So anyway, that's my soapbox for the day. Glad you guys came. Hopefully you loved it. So I know there were some issues with people answering the questions because depending on what time you came onto the stream, you may see something different, but we are giving them away. Nobody's getting cheated. If I miss something, let me know. But I got 2 more to give away, and so let's give those away. $25 gift certificate to Buffalo Wild Wings. All you have to do, no money, no fee or anything, just send me your email address and name. I can get it out to you. Ready? This is number 3. This is a gimme. Should be a gimme. What was Donald Trump's first wife's name? And I'm looking. First wife's name. If you got to look this up, then something's wrong. Are you kidding me? People aren't hitting me up with that yet? I'm looking. What was Donald Trump's wife's first name? What was the name of his first wife? Oh, okay, we got it. And it's funny because somebody named his daughter, but it looks like Celeste was the first one who said the actual name. Before her, there was a couple people who said it, but it looks like Celeste was the first one. Ivana. It tricked up some people. Some people said Ivanka. It was Ivana. So Celeste, go ahead and send me an email with your information, and you'll get a $25 gift certificate that'll be sent to your email from me, but I mean it's for Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, so now we're going to give another one. This one's going to might be a little bit harder depending how old you are. All right, here's one for you. You guys ready? And one more. So there was a movie filmed in New York about a little kid who got left behind when his parents went on vacation. Donald Trump was in that movie. What movie was it? What movie was it when a kid got left behind and he was walking through, boom, right out there's Tiki. Yeah, there you go. Home Alone. That was wait. I messed up. So Tiki, you're gonna get it. But it looks like Barb. Where'd Barb go? I mean, that was quick. Barb was there first before a bunch of you guys came in. Oh my goodness. I got to go back like a bunch of pages because everybody got it. Oh my goodness. Okay, where was it? So I can prove to everybody she was first. God, where was it? Barb R. Barb R, you were there first, and now everyone's coming in with it. But Barb R was first, and Tiki. So that's what I do on these things. Sometimes don't get mad at me. Sometimes I'll miss it. If I miss it, somebody can say, "Oh no, he was first or she was first." But Barb R was first, right here. That was Barb R was first. Tiki came in as well, and so 2 of you guys, go ahead, both of you, lady, man, go ahead and send me your information. Go ahead and just if you don't see my email address in the description, I'll drop it a little bit later. Actually, let me see if I can fix that right now so that the email address is in there. I better get to it. But I'll put it in after I log off to make sure everybody can get a hold of me. That one, so you can redeem your gift certificate, get your gift certificates. Then, what I'm going to do next. Now, this particular shirt, and it's not worn, it's brand new. I used to sell these, and I have some left over. This particular one, it's a big one. So, yeah, this is an extra large. It's an extra large hoodie. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it's huge, it's warm, it's big, it's never been worn, and I'm going to give that away. So, let's see what the question would be for this. I have to think about it. I didn't have a question lined up for this one, but I can probably pick one. So let me go back and get set because I know this is going to go quickly. So this is for an extra large Trump hoodie. Very warm. I think it's a Champion is the brand name of it, but it's an extra large, this particular one. So if you're small, I can't help you, but if you're a big person or want a bulky sweater, we can do that. So, what's to say? Trump has always loved this country. All right. Let's see. Trump has how many kids? Let's see. He's got Eric. He's got Ivanka. He's got Don Jr. He has Barron. What's the name of his other daughter? This might be tricky for some people. You're going to get a sweatshirt here. 4, 5, 6. What are those numbers? I don't know what those numbers are. What? No, I didn't say how many kids. I said, what is the name of the daughter I didn't mention? I mentioned it. Bingo. Let me make sure I got this one correctly. Zachary. Yes, you are the first one, Zachary. For sure. Zachary, so you get it. You're going to get a sweatshirt, a unworn, basically new. Not basically. It is new. I just took out the box. Extra large Trump sweatshirt. You're going to have to send me your email. And actually, you got to send me your actual mailing address so I can put it in a box and send it to you. Congratulations, Zachary. I've got a box more of these things as well. So I'm going to just keep giving them out. Hopefully we'll have more live streams anytime he goes live. It's kind of hard to do it on a recorded video, but I'm going to just keep give it back to you guys. Let you guys enjoy it. So Zachary, send me an email with your mailing address and name so I can get that out to you as soon as possible. It's sitting right here. I have some more stuff. I got a whole bunch of goodies. And you guys, bikers, I got some biker shirts with Trump stuff on it. Let's see what else I have. I have some ladies zip-up sweatshirts as well. So got a lot of stuff. I'll probably, and I'm not selling anything. None of it's being sold. I'm not looking to make any money. I just want to help you guys and give you guys some things and let you enjoy our future president and same as our past president. So that's, I know somebody says, by the way, Home Alone 2 had Trump in it. Oh, wait a minute. Home Alone 2 had Trump in it. Interesting. But it was still Home Alone, so we're still good. All right, guys. All you guys who won, Zach, I'm going to need your mailing address and your name if you want to just send me an email with that. The rest of you who want the gift certificates. And the only thing I require, no money, is just like this video.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
Which I can't check anyway, so just please do it. And then number 2, send me a picture with you once you get it. The gift cards, I mean, you have to print it out on your computer. But once you get the hoodie, go ahead and send me a picture, and I'll go ahead and post it in one of my videos. Other than that, man, he went 90 minutes. He killed it. Absolutely killed it. Like I said, if you ever have a question with a lib that's trying to say, they don't like Trump, just ask him that one question. What define fair share? And you're going to see them squirm because they can't. Everything they talk about is complete BS, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again probably tonight.